Hi folks, and welcome back for another video today, a tech video today, focusing on tech within the streaming space, and we'll be discussing what tech you should be focusing on upgrading first as both a beginner live streamer and an experienced streamer, coming right up. I do tech reviews, gaming content, streaming advice, life advice, all that sort of stuff here on my channel, so if you're enjoying the content, feel free to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for all the awesome content we have planned coming up in the future. Deciding on the tech that you want to use is a very, very personal decision. It's going to differ from person A to person B and persons from every walk of life. But there's a strong solution and kind of almost, I want to say, an industry standard almost in the order in which you should upgrade your equipment and prioritize that kind of upgrading nature. I myself use this, and I know tons of other streamers of varying statuses use this, and they use it very well and very efficiently, so let's talk about it. So before purchasing and looking at the streaming tech on offer, you need to first understand what types of streaming tech is indeed on offer and the various categories and subcategories that there are within the tech space for streamers. There is audio, video, lighting, hardware, and external equipment. And when I say external equipment, I'm talking things of stream decks and that nature. Okay, so now that you know the categories, this is going to make this video a whole lot easier and your purchase process and your upgrade process far easier. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video. I'll be sharing the flow chart of the order in which you should upgrade towards the end of the video. Now, when I ask you what you think is the most important piece of equipment or category that you think should be upgraded first, what would your response be? Feel free, if you have a response that you'd like to share, in the comment section below and see and compare it with everybody else to see if you're on the same page as me, same page as everybody else watching this video. I get the feeling that most people would probably choose video or potentially hardware. And while having a great camera and a great computer is really, really important, it's not the number one choice. That often surprises most people because they go, well, what is then? You're going to tell me external equipment's number one? No, I'm not going to tell you external equipment's number one. I'm going to tell you audio equipment is number one, and here's why. Audio equipment is number one for upgrading equipment because of the common trends that we now see in the entertainment and content creation industries and the way that people consume the content that you put out. Think of it like this. Take your favorite streamer, content creator, YouTuber, whatever, video platform person. We're not going to be talking about Twitter and Instagram influencers of the such. Sorry if you are one. How often do you sit there with their content open on a different monitor, on a different TV screen, with work or homework pulled up or a video game pulled up, doing something away from their content? You're not actively consuming it. Across the board, it happens quite a lot. I know I personally do that a lot. I do that when I'll probably do that when I'm editing this video together. I'll have somebody's stream open or somebody's YouTube videos open just to, have some kind of background noise. Across the board, it's a very common thing that people do, and this wasn't necessarily the case when streaming and this kind of thing emerged many, many years ago. The content creation space and the way that people consume content has changed drastically over the years since content creation and Twitch and YouTube's inception. Having really good audio quality is going to matter more now than ever before because of the ways in which people consume content. I like to also think of it in the nature that if you're wearing your headphones or something like that and you click into a stream that's got really peaking audio or really bad quality audio, you're more likely to click off, or I know at least I am more likely to click off because my ears would be very sensitive to that as opposed to my eyes being sensitive to a visual display unless it's completely bonkers in somebody's stream. Bonus tip while we talk about audio for those of you who have stuck around at this point in the video. When you're also talking about audio, being able to balance the audio correctly and doing it well is going to be such a benefit to you and the content that you create. I'm of course referring to your microphone audio, your game or the activity audio that you're doing, the people that you're playing with or streaming with, and then the music and background noise that you have going on. Music should never be too loud. The only instances where it should be louder is on your starting screens or your be right back screens. The aim of music during your gameplay or during your chatting bits is to fill the potential dead air void that exists when you're not talking or something's not happening in your game. Your microphone audio needs to be clear, but not too loud to where it's turning people away, but loud enough so it's audible. So now that we've talked about audio, well, you're probably sitting here thinking, well, what audio should I be looking at? What microphone sort of thing should I be looking at? My number one recommendation is to stay away from headset microphones. It can be very easy because of the price to go and look at headset microphones, but I personally recommend always choosing external microphones over headset microphones. Headset microphones can, in some instances, on rare occasions, provide good quality audio and can work in interim periods when your mic is broken or something like that. That's fine. But as your permanent full-time mic, you want something a little more solid and a little more professional that's flexible. So I started on this microphone, the Blue Snowball, back in 15 that I started. I'll leave a link in the description to this on Amazon. Oh, the thing just dropped. It's a solid microphone. It's not the best microphone, but it is certainly a very good option for you. This, and then the Blue Yeti as well. There is a Blue Yeti Nano, a Blue Yeti Pro, I believe, and tons of other Blue microphones are really solid product options. But shortly after using that Blue Snowball microphone, I decided that, you know, I wanted to step my audio up a little bit and I wanted to take it to another level, having seen what other creators were doing at the time. So I picked up myself an Audio-Technica AT2020 USB microphone. It's a very, very nice microphone. It's very, very good for streaming. It's almost, I almost want to say it's become the industry standard microphone. I used this for years until picking up another Audio-Technica microphone in the 2035 XLR microphone with my Go XLR, and this one served me really well, and I still use this one when I'm traveling or I'm not at home or I'm not streaming off of my main PC, and it's a really solid upgrade option if you're looking for something from a headset microphone, from a Blue Snowball like I mentioned a few moments ago, or anything of that sort. So now that we know that audio equipment is probably, or should be, your go-to for upgrading equipment, what follows it? I mentioned earlier I'd be sharing a little bit of a flowchart, and here it goes. The flowchart of streaming equipment to upgrade goes, obviously, as we discussed, audio, hardware, lighting, video, and then finally external equipment. You might ask why in this order, why specifically this? Let's talk about it. Obviously, we discussed audio and why audio is important, so let's talk about now hardware and why that's second on the list. Hardware is ahead of everything else, that way you ensure that your stream runs smoothly. Having a solid graphics card, solid processor, solid RAM in your computer ensures, other than internet issues, that your stream doesn't lag, you don't get FPS drops in your game, and the output that you're sending to Twitch or your streaming service. On hardware, before you go and splash a ton of money on a new computer or laptop or streaming thing that you want to use, do consider what you do have lying around the house. This that I'm about to show you right now is my old laptop that I started streaming off of. So I started streaming off of the PlayStation 4 initially way back when in 2015, but I had this laptop here. So I saved the money for a capture card, that way I could then turn my laptop into my streaming device over my PlayStation, and it worked brilliantly. I streamed off of this laptop for a year, I want to say. Obviously, it didn't enable me to have amazing quality like I do now with my PC, but it still allowed me to start and get a start and a feel for things and really put out some good content and get known in this industry. Lighting is ahead of video because most people have a camera, most people have a webcam, and if you're living in this time, you're probably working from home, so you probably have a camera. If you don't, I'd put video ahead of lighting then. But if you have a camera, lighting ahead of video. Lighting's also ahead of video in the nature that lighting can make almost any camera look good. Bad cameras, good cameras, can make them look amazing if they're lit correctly. And then external equipment is obviously very personal. It's not very necessary to have a Stream Deck. There are alternatives such as binding keys to your keyboard and OBS, or a Stream Deck mobile application ahead of buying an actual external item like a Stream Deck. We haven't covered things like keyboards and mouses and such like that in this video because those, again, are very personal decisions. They're not very, you need advice in picking that. Maybe that might be covered in a different video down in the future. I'll be sure to leave links in the description, at least probably 2 or 3 for each category, say audio, video, lighting, etc., to links of products that I recommend if you're a beginner or intermediate experience. There'll be ones for probably each kind of price range. Thank you so much for watching this video and watching it all the way to the end. I hope you found it useful and helpful, and maybe you purchased a little bit of equipment after this video and it helped you out in deciding that process. Feel free to let me know what your thoughts were about it, and share any other pieces of advice or strategies to someone who might be a beginner like I was 5 years ago, or potentially like you are today and on your journey to starting this awesome thing called streaming. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I do tech review videos and all sorts of stuff, streaming and gaming content here, at least one video every single week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a phenomenal rest of your day, and until next time, bye-bye.